going to cover every angle of this shocking deal that sent Luka Doncic to Los Angeles for Anthony Davis. But wait, there's more, because Shams, he reported last night that the Spurs, they're acquiring De'Aaron Fox in a 3-team deal that also sends Zach LaVine to Sacramento. And you know we'll have more on that Victor Wembanyama connection with his new guard later in the show. But when I say most stunning trade in NBA history, that really is not hyperbole, because we have never seen two reigning All-NBA players swapped for each other midseason, and the entire world took notice. Reaction poured in from all around the sports globe. I'm with Tyrese Halliburton, by the way. I thought, maybe, did someone else tweet this? Is Shams all good? Yes, he was. Other NBA stars were shocked. NFL stars, too. Micah Parsons weighing in. And Shams clarifying to the world it's 1,000% real. You can see Luka Doncic arriving at the airport in Los Angeles. Los Angeles Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka greeting him. And a new chapter begins right here in LA. We will hear from Shams Charania a little bit later in the show. I'm joined by Chiney Ogumake, Mark Spears, Brian Windhorst, Bobby Marks. There is no one I would rather be breaking all of this down with, because this is as much of a move for the future, Brian, of Los Angeles as it is for the now here. What is the most important part about this from LA's perspective?
On July 1st, 2018, that was when LeBron said he was going to come to the Lakers. From that day forward till February 1st, 2025, everything the Lakers did was about LeBron. Now it is going to be about Luka. And I don't think that's an issue. I don't think that's a controversial statement. I think that's something the Lakers organization needed to do. I don't know if they knew how they were going to do it, but now they have their transition in place, and now everything going forward will be about the man on the left, not the guy on the right.
Yeah, I heard when Luka flew in last night, certainly there was a lot of disappointment, anger, a lot of emotions. And when he got in, he got off the plane, he spoke to Rob Pelinka for a while, and that's when reality started hitting, like, yo, I'm a Laker. This is kind of cool. This is great. I'm amongst celebrities. I'm in L.A. There's a history here. And then after that, he went to dinner with an old teammate, J.J. Redick.
Now he's head coach?
Yeah. So now he's his head coach, and he's in the facility today getting a physical. Press conference tomorrow, and I'm hearing he's targeting next week. The Lakers play at home against Utah next Monday, and on the road in Utah next Wednesday, a potential return from his calf injury. So
we could be seeing Luka as soon as next week, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting and something to watch here. Let's just take a step back real quick. My first question when I saw this come in is, why does this make sense for Los Angeles? You're moving away from part of your cornerstone of the championship team in 2020 and Anthony Davis. Why does this pairing make sense?
Well, I think the pairing makes sense because it's a win-now move right now when you get a 25-year-old All-NBA, five-time All-NBA, and a player generationally for the future. I think when you're the Lakers and you're Rob Pelinka, eventually LeBron James is going to retire and not be in this league. Who is going to be the face of this organization? And certainly you go out and you make this type of trade for Luka Doncic, and that's the guy.
I want to get to in just a second what this is actually going to look like on the court, Bobby. But first, Brian, it's the first time, I said this, but I want to reiterate it. It's the first time a LeBron team has made a non-LeBron-based move of this magnitude. What impact does this have on him?
Well, let's look at his actions. Dave McMenamin reported that he does not intend to seek a trade. He is going to stay with the team.
Yep.
That's important. That signals that he's on board. The second thing is LeBron wants to leave the Lakers in a good place. He has a good relationship with the Laker organization. People have talked about, well, what do you feel about them going and getting his son? They've done right by him, and he wants to do right by them. So if he can do some things over this next season, 2 seasons, to help Luka get into position, if he can hopefully help him on the court, I think he wants to do that. I think if he leaves the Lakers and hands it over to Luka for the next era, I think that is part of being a great Laker, and he wants to be a great Laker.
Yeah, he wants to be a great Laker, and he also wants to win. There is no player at age 25, maybe, that has a higher ceiling than Luka Doncic, other than maybe Victor Wembanyama. I do want to bring in the man who reported this news, our senior insider, Shams Charania. Shams, I am so glad that you're with us to help make sense of the Lakers side of all of this. Why did they decide that Luka was the guy to go in for, and this was the deal they wanted to make?
Malika, this deal definitely materialized in the shadows, in the cloak of secrecy in a lot of ways, between Rob Pelinka, the general manager, executive vice president of the Lakers, and Nico Harrison, the general manager of the Dallas Mavericks. This didn't become an actuality until the Mavericks formally offered Luka Doncic to the Lakers recently. And when you get offered Luka Doncic, it's hard when you huddle, when Genie busts, Rob Pelinka, when they huddle, it's hard not to accept that. In Anthony Davis, the Mavericks are getting a player that's a win-now piece, 40-20 in his last game with the Lakers. But make no mistake, Luka Doncic for the next 10 years is going to be the face of that Lakers organization. And there's a lot of questions right now. What's LeBron James's future? What is he thinking? There's not going to be a move for LeBron James out of Los Angeles right now, as far as everyone is concerned. But the relationship between him and Luka Doncic is something I'm definitely going to keep an eye on. The Lakers want LeBron James to be a mentor of sorts, someone that can help Luka Doncic continue to develop the right habits, develop everything on and off the court. And I think we're going to see that play out over the coming weeks, days, years.
Look, LeBron James, Shams, you know this, has spoken very highly of Luka Doncic over the years. There was a time when LeBron tried to sign Luka to his own shoe brand. That didn't come to fruition, but now they are teammates. Thank you very much, Shams. Please do not go too far. We're going to check in with you a little bit later in the show. The question that all Lakers fans want to know, Chiney, though, is what is this going to look like on the court? Can you show us the Luka-LeBron connection?
Look, y'all, I have so much guilt because I was asleep when the news broke. But ever since then, I have been dissecting this, and you guys know I love the numbers. I've been swimming in the numbers, and on paper, LeBron and Luka bring to the table what they do, what they bring. Kind of reminds me of that Spider-Man gif, right? When it comes to usage, production, triple doubles, it's very similar. You move away from the athleticism, but other than that, they're pretty similar. These two teammates are now the only players to score. Look at the numbers here. 10,000 points, grab 3,000 rebounds, and dish 3,000 assists, age 25 or younger in NBA history. And these two teammates also now join Oscar Robertson as the only players to average 25, 7, and 7. Now, the big question is, how will they fit together? I mean, I watched the network. Charles Barkley raised some concerns. Over the last 5 seasons, they are both top 10 in touches per game. And they are not real big catch and shooters, right? Look at this, 116th, 308th when it comes to this category. So this is definitely more about the long-term succession plan with generational players of the past, of the present, and of course, of the future.
All right, so Bobby, beyond LeBron and Luka, what else are the Lakers working with here?
Yeah, I mean, I think the worst thing that Rob Pelinka could do is right now take a deep breath as far as saying, we got Luka, we're good right now, because there is a lot of work that has to be done still with this Lakers roster. I think certainly at the center position, right now they have Jackson Hayes as a starter. When you look at it, certainly a lot of interchangeable parts as far as you could even put Jared Vanderbilt there. There are some big questions, though, Malika, as we head into the trade deadline on Thursday. Who's replacing AD at center? Can you go out and make another trade? You've got your pick in 2030 and 31. You also have a second. You've got some contracts to make. Certainly Austin Reeves, how does that work with the Luka pairing?
Yeah.
I think the big thing is selling. You got to sell Luka. He's under contract for another year and a half. He potentially could become a free agent in 2026. The Supermax is no longer available. The financial playing field is even for Los Angeles and the other 29 teams here. So it's important to sell him on the roster. And as we said, is there another move as far as what they can do leading up into the deadline?
And that's what I'm going to be tracking. You mentioned this on the wildly successful Hoop Collective podcast, Wendy, that Austin Reeves is a player over the next handful of days, weeks. In the past, we talked about him as potentially an untouchable. Does he make sense with this roster moving forward? Do you think the Lakers are done? What is next for LA?
No, I think obviously they need more size and they need more perimeter defense because they traded Max Christie in this deal. And, you know, since Max Christie went into the starting lineup, the Lakers are 15-8. He was helping them defensively. So they need to do a couple of deals. I would not focus so much on this week. Obviously, they need to do something at the center position immediately. But look at this summer as well. And I don't know what happened between the negotiation between Rob Pelinka and Nico Harrison, but Rob Pelinka did an excellent job getting the Lakers to keep some assets. They need to use those assets to build this team around Luka. So his work this week and his work this summer, ideally what you're going to do if you're Rob Pelinka, find a player or two this week, find another player or two in the summer. By the way, they also have their pick swaps. They can use pick swaps. And when you get to July, Luka, can we get you to sign that 5-year contract?
Yeah.
So the big move has happened, but the work continues between now and offering that deal.
Well, and the sell is going to be, you know, we certainly talked about the Supermax not there, 5 for $345. That goes out the window. If you're Luka, you're looking at taking a short-term contract, a 3-year contract with a player option in the 3rd year, and then extend 2 years from now. 5 years, $415 million. So although it looks like he's lost that money, you're going to be able to recoup it down the road. But as I said, it's got to be for a roster that he feels comfortable with.
You know what I'm interested in? When LeBron came here, right?
Yep.
You know, he has his guys, Rich and Mav here. Is Luka, can he come here and also take advantage of off the court? There's a lot of money to be made in L.A. There's people that are going to want him in movies, but he's always kind of been shy about getting into that world. I wonder if coming to L.A., where he's going to lose this money on taxes, can he make some money off the court here that he couldn't make in Dallas?
You know what's crazy? He's already been considered one of the faces of the NBA without even doing that much. Now he's in Los Angeles. He may not need to do much more because he's already showing up in a Lakers jersey, and that gives you a lot.
Here's what we know about the Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers are the glamour franchise of the NBA. And they know, because LeBron James has talked about it more this year than I've ever heard him talk about it in the past, that the end is near. It may be this year, next year, the year after that. We don't know, but it is coming, and it is coming quickly. The Lakers looked around and they look at Anthony Davis and said, you are a winning player, but are you a box office player? Luka Doncic is box office, and they are betting on their premium prices moving forward that Luka Doncic is going to be the player that is going to continue to bring fans and other players around the league to Los Angeles. The fact of the matter is, though, we got more.
Các bạn vừa xem xong video phân tích của chúng tôi. Sau đây sẽ là video hướng dẫn cách làm một chiếc vòng tay mang tên là stick vòng tay Smith của chúng tôi. Bây giờ các bạn cùng tôi thực hiện cách làm nhé. T chữ M này. S này. Smith. Chữ A. Bây giờ mình sẽ ghép một số cái hạt vòng hình trái tim màu trắng và hạt vòng màu đỏ này. Tiếp theo là chữ Stephen. T này. Chữ T. S của chị cuối cùng. Stephen A. Smith. Sau đó thì mình sẽ buộc nó vào như này. Một chiếc vòng tay với hai tông màu chính là màu đỏ và màu trắng, mang tên Stephen A. Smith. Rồi, và như vậy thì mình đã hoàn thành xong cái chiếc vòng tay này rồi. Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi và hẹn gặp lại các bạn ở những video tiếp theo nhé.